Okay, Senator Hughes, would you like to lay out your House bill by Drew Springer, House Bill 2504?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'm proud to present House Bill 2504, and as you say, it does come from Representative Springer over in the House. And the bill is about access to the ballot. It will provide that any political party that slates candidates for the general election is subject to the same filing fees as every other party, and making sure that everybody's treated the same way, and also allow parties to have their candidates placed on the ballot if they had a nominee for state office receive at least 2% of the total vote in the previous 5 general elections. That's what the bill does. It's very straightforward. The rules apply equally to every party, regardless of their political stripe, and it just sets a reasonable threshold. In fact, this 2% is where the threshold had been for quite a while. It was raised back in the 1980s. But what we would do here would be restore the place that it had before, where any party that can show they have sufficient support should be able to get access to the ballot. That's what the bill does.
Sounds reasonable to me. All right. Any questions? I guess not. No one's here. We'll open up testimony on House Bill 2504. We have Keith Ingram as a resource witness in case we have a question. Then we have Pat Dixon. You can come on up, Pat. Arthur D. Bianca and Kelly Ruiz. Are you Pat Dixon? You're
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm a little too loud there. I'm Pat Dixon, representing myself, speaking against House Bill 2504. If you were forced to pay for something without getting anything in return, that would not be fair. You would probably file a lawsuit and go to court. When political parties nominate their candidates through a primary process, the taxpayers pay most of that fee. The candidates pay a small portion. So the cost of the nomination process is in a small part paid by those candidates. When political parties under Section 181 pay for a convention, they pay 100% of that cost. I was chair of the Libertarian Party for 10 years. I know what it costs to pay for a convention. We pay our own way. The effect of this bill would be to force libertarians to pay an additional cost above the nomination cost to be on the ballot. These costs would be paid by libertarians, not Republicans, not Democrats, not independents. The bill was amended, as stated, to reduce a retention status from 5 to 2%. I would be in favor of that if it were not attached to this discriminatory bill. The only effect of that would be to help the Green Party. We know in the past the Green Party has had outside support to get on the ballot, and it's unlikely they would pay anything. So the result is this is a tax on libertarians. In the past, the Libertarian Party has worked with the legislature. We've been able to have bills that we work on together, and if there was a bill that addressed some of the real concerns here, if the idea is that more than 2 candidates spoil an election, I disagree with that. Texans disagree with that. But if you want to work on something like approval voting, I'd be happy to work with you. But this bill is a tax on libertarians. It's unfair. Vote no. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Mr. Dixon, any questions? All right.